That's all you do, survive. You certainly don't live.
I live.
No, most
You
people
don't live.
survive or exist. They live by their dreams,
You
which
own
is about
every
what they
Sunday
can have.
here.
Will you shut up?
Come in here, go back to your country.
Speaker's
Oh,
Corner.
no, you are
Where's the
foreigner.
Speaker's Corner in Algeria?
There
What
is
is
a
the reason for me to tell
Where
you to
did
shut
you
up?
steal Speaker Corner from where? From Mecca. When people stand in Mecca, they was talking to people, that is Speaker Corner. And you call it
Yeah,
here
to
Speaker
a Muslim it
Where is
is.
the corner here? It's only tree.
What do Muslims know?
Why you call it Speaker Corner? It's only
You
tree
wouldn't
here.
understand you're a foreigner.
I am a foreigner, you can do nothing.
I don't want to do anything.
We have 5 terminals. Terminal 1, 2, 3, welcome people.
No, the British government does, not the English people. Very big difference.
Shall we have a vote?
When I exit from the gate, they say, thank you, sir. You're very welcome.
English people.
British.
This is England. Thank you very much.
Is it British?
Everything you quote is by the
Scotland,
word of
Ireland.
mouth
I
of
can go to
politicians.
Ireland without a visa. So United Kingdom.
Because of politicians, nothing
You
else.
call it in Britain.
Politicians who in themselves are greedy, selfish, and in many cases corrupt, and yet you're willing to take the handouts wherever they give you. This is the whole thing. The condemnation on people now is something you've got to start thinking about. Nobody is a victim. You don't have to
No,
do
your
anything.
adopted
You
son is
choose
here.
to.
It's like going into Wales, you have to pay to go into that country.
You have to pay to come out. No, England's mugs again. Isn't it funny how you are always so willing to ignore England's part in anything?
I don't ignore England.
Then why do we have a National Assembly in Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland, and yet the English were never asked?
ripped us off.
The English never asked. Never asked. And we've got the whole lot of you, plus every other foreigner, determining English affairs. And you swan into England and act as if you belong here as well.
I'm enjoying the
Well,
weather
you
here.
boast
They
about
say
the
18-degree afternoon.
Justice will be done. Justice will be done. Nobody's getting away with anything. You couldn't exist here without England. I don't think many countries could exist without England.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, if you haven't got here to run to, when you do come here, you send your money back to your own people in your own country to help your own country and your own people in their own lives.
No one helped the English during multiple wars. No one stepped in to defend.
Where are you from, sir? Where are you from? He's from the US.
Excuse
Which
me,
language you
wasn't
speak
the
in the
English,
US?
it was the British.
Welcome home.
Since you don't belong here, how can you welcome anybody?
Well, I welcome him because he's like me, a human being. That's it.
No,
Regardless where
no,
you born.
sorry. The human condition has racial responsibility, sexual responsibility, and personal responsibility. When you are a commodity and you don't value and respect your race, then you fail to be a human being.
How far is English
Which I
race? How
call,
far?
that is why I call you the
How far
highest
English
help.
race? 400 years? 500 years?
You are serving the British government as much now within this nation as you did when the British Empire existed.
We are part
Only
of
you're getting
empire.
more out of it, and therefore you put the idea to
They've
one
been
side.
everywhere.
And that
So
is
when we
why
come here, it's not
every
allowed.
time I talk about the English people in this country, you demonstrate that you are still products of Britain because you have no consideration of how the English people think as their own country is swamped by those who are quick to complain about what the British did, but are still quick to come here and put their money into the coffers of the British government.
Born in England.
You are who your father is. You can't change your race no matter where you are. You can become anglicised. What you can do what you like. You cannot go against what your creator made you to be. And since most of you don't even believe a creator exists, then you are in deep trouble.
So my mother's English and my father's German. but
I
was born
don't
in
really
America. What do you know?
care. You're German. Go back to Germany.
Earlier she said I wasn't English because I was born in America. Now she's saying I'm German because my father was born in Germany.
No, because he's German. If he's not German, you know, you can live anyway. It doesn't make you not
Backpedal
race.
just a little bit further.
Well, if he's not German, then wherever he came from, that's who you are.
So I'm not American.
There's no such thing as an American. The truth-
6,000 years
You're not-
ago,
you're
the
not where
land
you were
was
born. So
together.
you are where you're
There
born.
was no English.
No, I am dealing with your Americanization.
You have to live in the Atlantic Ocean.
No ocean.
Maybe.
You're contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not.
Oder? Da muss er ja
There is
irgendwo
no such race as American.
So
Just as
if
There's
the
no
man,
such race.
shut up, I'm talking. Enough.
How is English a race?
the tribe of the Angles.
And where did they come from?
Every tribe existed in the beginning.
Where did they come from?
Nations were once racial.
Every tribe
Race
existed in the
is
beginning.
biological, not political. That's why you can wash up anywhere you like, call yourself what you like, but every time you look in the mirror, you're faced with who you are and the place on earth you are meant to be.
So there's no such thing as
That's
a
how
mass
it works.
migration. The mass migration
I'm
never
English.
happened.
Hier
Mass
sehen wir
migration
eine
has been in many places, but it was never meant to be that way. As I say, there's no such thing as an immigrant, a foreigner, a refugee, or a victim. That comes about when man becomes so greedy and earthbound that he forgets his place before his Almighty, which is to look after the place that he has been given by his racial roots. You have no idea of the power of racial roots. And you don't want to, because you're too busy clinging to the version of political power. But it's doomed. And you know it's doomed. You see in the papers every day the arguments and fights that's going on.
So if the mother from Cuba
And that is
the
why you
husband
want to
from
keep
Iceland,
people suppressed
we call
by
them
calling
the
them
ice cube.
racist. Race is not going away. The Almighty never is not democratic. He doesn't ask man what he wants. He puts you here and makes requirements of you. And when you stand in judgment to give an account of the life you've been given, it's the judgment that he gives, not the one you give.
I understand why you're upset about foreigner. Your husband ran away with
I
a
am not
foreigner woman.
upset. I am dealing with you.
That for sure.
I am not upset. This is a passing phase. The sun rises and sets, the moon maxes and wanes. Multiculturalism is on the ebb and you don't even see it. Not just in this country, but certainly in the parts of Europe and in every other nation where people in that land are sick of foreigners coming in, wielding their wallets, or buying people and destroying the culture and identity of the people within that land. North, south, east and west. I am talking about England because that's who I am and that's where we're standing. But in many other countries, and probably most of the real countries around the world, there are people within that land who can say exactly the same thing. They are sick of foreigners messing up their identity, their country and their culture. And thinking if they've got enough money and enough of their do-gooding power and enough of their certain variations of expertise, then they are welcome. It is the height of arrogance and most of all, it's the height of destruction. And it's not going to continue.
Too late. There's
We
no
come-
going back, baby. Diane, did you use transport? There's no going back. Did you use transport?
You are responsible for what
The
you do in your
bus
life.
driver is
Nobody
Somali.
else.
Without Somali, you can't come here to speak.
Selbe Frage, die ich vorhin
Methinks
gestellt
when you tell us how much we need you, then you are demonstrating your own fears.
English, they need us. They don't know how to cook. We can make couscous, kebab, shisha. No, summertime, shisha.
You would all like to think that the English are down and out, wouldn't you? That's why you sneer and mock at them, make a mockery of their history. But
The English
believe
people,
me,
they are busy in the pub drinking.
You don't
all the
touch the
time
English.
drinking.
Oh,
don't
und wo hat
touch
sie
the
ihren Tee her?
they can shut up.
Den Tee?
Ja, auf Englisch.
Ja, klar.
I don't care.
Like Irish people.
Shall I tell you why? Because these Irish killers,
It's not a killer.
the reason why the British went into Northern Ireland was, first of all, these are good Catholics
They
who were
went into
being...
all of Ireland, not Northern Ireland. That was about 600-700
Do you use the
years ago.
Protestant
Because
religion to separate the island
These
from the
people
south?
are very good servants of the Catholic Church. And when England kicked out the Catholic system, these Irish were used to
Who's
try and
bringing in
bring it
religion
back
now?
again.
You're bringing in religion.
The Irish are governed by religion.
Religious
Oh,
matter,
they've
is
got
it?
money now, but they are motivated, their history is motivated by religion. And they will never be at peace with England or themselves
Don't want to be.
until they get rid of their religious mentality that makes them seem as if they're victims. England was at that time, as was Scotland and Wales, strong enough in their Protestant faith to be able to deal harshly with the Irish. That's why Oliver Cromwell made Northern Ireland a bastion for Protestants from the mainland in
I
order
like
to
Irish
keep the
people.
Irish
Who
from
likes
pursuing
Irish?
and
Yeah.
reconverting.
I have another.
These are not friends of England, believe me. And they're not victims either. These are poisonous troublemakers and they don't know what peace is. And if you love the Irish so much, leave England and go and live in
No,
Ireland.
no, no, no.
Very simple.
The Irish are in Kilburn. I live in Kilburn. They are peaceful
And you
people.
grow
Who are
the
you?
tea in your garden or
Who are you?
Let's grow.
Who are you?
I have a
You're a
great-
visitor here,
I
mind your
have a
manners.
question. Where is
Get
your
the
tea
speakers
grown
on in
up?
your country.
In your garden?
Get
No,
the speakers
in
card in your
India.
own country.
In India, oh, in India.
And the milk from Ireland.
Wow.
The cup from China.
You haven't got a clue what I
They use the
drink.
Turkish water and they call it English tea.
You haven't got a clue what I drink. And all your snide little remarks show more about you than they do about me.
My English is not so good. I can't.
You're not supposed to be speaking English.
Oh yeah, you are the best. You're only English.
What are you doing in England? What's wrong with your own
Oh,
country?
where comes the money? From Germany. From Italy.
England save
Germany.
German
Get
save
Germany.
Greece.
Get back there.
Yeah.
But you're
Get
not
back to
German.
yours.
You're not German.
Without
Oh,
the
I'm-
German Europe collapsed.
I'm from where?
You've got a mixture in you.
Oh. I'm
You
a
know-
gypsy, maybe.
You know why she hates German? You know why?
I'm a
You
gypsy
always
wonder
beat them in the World Cup.
Was?
You
Hate German because
You
always
haven't
you
got a
beat them in the
clue how
World
this
Cup.
world is meant to be. Because you are on an earthbound level. Most of you are like pieces of meat. There's nothing going on inside you. The highest you have is your brain cells and you worship them and worship other people. But we are meant to be physical, emotional, mental and spiritual. And without any of those, all of those four in activity, then you are less than human. And therefore, most of all, not worthy or capable of making a right judgment.
Diana, I know where you live. I want to swap the flat next to you. Next year I will be your neighbor.
Please note, you have to come to me. I couldn't put up with this infantile, earthbound, stupid mentality.
So what planet are you from?
Like I said, earthbound, infantile, stupid mentality.
Well, let me tell you, all I hear is hate from you. All you do is speak hate, and you use religion to justify that hate.
Thank you for your opinion.
No, my opinion? Yeah, and thank you for your hateful opinion.
Fine, I don't really care. Who are you?
Who am I? My name is Terry. Who are you?
I didn't ask for personal details. You just don't belong here, so mind
Yeah,
you.
you're afraid.
I don't even care what my own
Continue
people think of me
speaking
now
your
because
hate.
I've never been so ashamed of being English because they're so busy cowardly licking them at the feet of everybody else.
The English
They're giving
people,
this
they don't
country
like
away.
Er ist süß, gell?
I don't want to be liked by godless, materialistic people who are selling their own birthright down the line. They are traitors.
Oh ja, bring sie zum Heulen.
Remember, we come in alone, we go out alone.
No,
Stimmt,
I
sie
come
heult
with
gleich.
my brother
If
here.
necessary, I take the world on. But you do it knowing the Almighty God who made all things is
Komm, lass
right
mal Ausländer
here.
hier außen rum.
You can't say that.
Die traut sich aber,
You
was?
could, but you can't because you're not
Can
living
you
up.
be more racist? It's not enough.
God Almighty created the races. It would have been very easy for us to be all the same, but why didn't he do that? So we could fight each other? No, so that we could define our identity.
God
Just
is
as the
not
oak
English
tree,
to tell
the
us
ash
to go
tree,
home.
the elm tree, the palm
God
tree have
creates
specific
every race.
identities, but they're all
Yeah.
trees.
And they don't read books.
God has never created a mongrel. You are mongrelizing humanity, and therefore, in serving chaos, you are the ones who are doomed. No matter how many there are of you. Remember, death came in through the Almighty. Death follows all
Aber sie hat die höchste Aufmerksamkeit.
Ja.
on the terms of the Almighty.
Ja, klar. Entschuldigung. Ja.
Diana, why don't you shut them down?
Eigentlich gibt's mehr Mongoloide, wenn man sich nicht mixt.
I don't live in your world.
Next year
Your
will
world
be,
is too.
you'll be he's through
You
5
don't live in
years.
the real England. I do. There is two worlds in existence. There is the eternal physical world. There is and there's the artificial nations that you have created.
Super hier, ich finde das
And
total
they're
klasse hier,
created
oder?
in time, are subject to time and are doomed.
Can I live my
Real
back here,
nations-
Diana?
I'm not a babysitter
Die
for you.
Tüte ist auch made in China, eindeutig, oder?
And let the government look after your bag.
Get you out.
A big deal. I can get up again, you stupid man.
Can you go higher, please?
Hey, no, just keep that bag away. Stop putting it there.
It's only
Well,
bananas.
look after it then.
Only bananas here.
Do you really think this lot could have a speaker's
not
forum
from
network?
England.
Small
Listen to the
banana or
mentality.
big bananas.
And that's true of all of you. You open your mouths and you see why you're not mature enough to have a place where you can speak your mind.
Diana, have one black banana.
Because you've got a mob mentality.
She like bananas. Don't grab this one, grab the one down!
It was going to go over there.
Oh, no problem, let's go there.
Wait, next time come with green banana.
No, there is no green banana.
We're all here under the same terms.
No,
And you're not following the terms laid down. Every one of you is on your own, whether
Also
you
du
like it
musst
or
nicht
not.
Angst haben vor Menschen mit langem Bärten, sondern Angst haben vor solchen Weibern. Sie baut sich sicher eine Bombe aus irgendwelchen...
Ja, ohne Scheiß.
And you can walk away from me, but you can't walk away from the
Ja,
human
der Maschinengewehr in die Hand kriegt, dann
Dann,
liegt ja alles um.
ich glaube auch.
Aber da kannst du nur mit sich selber sprechen, das ist auch blöd.
Ja, aber sie will ja nicht mit den Fremden sprechen. Wir sind ja alle scheiße. Mongoloid sind
I
wir.
don't remember saying I was going to change anything. I'm already
They have not enough
the
money to
creator
go to
is the
Piccadilly
ultimate change.
Theatre. They come
That's
here
what I'm
for
warning you
comedy
about.
show. It's
I am a messenger. I am no threat to you. And we're all meant to be
Welcome to the
messengers.
free show.
What is your message? Oh, get as much as you can. Stand on as many people as you can. Oh, never mind those stupid bigots. Get what you can. We're here. You can do anything you want. You can be who you want to be. That's most people's message. A message of destruction, because whether you like it or not, we are passing through this world. And we can't take anything with us when
Das
we
war
leave.
religiös.
First thing I've agreed.
Yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah, man.
I'm not looking for followers. I'm asking you to open your minds and listen to what I am saying. That's what Speaker's Corner is about. Challenging you to open your mind and listen to what people are saying. That's why it exists. Get one in Northern Ireland. Get one in Northern Ireland. And you know they'd end up shooting each other, because that's what they do in Northern
That's what you were good at.
That's what the
That's
British...
what you were good at.
snipers,
The Irish are
cowards,
good builder. They built England.
British
That's it, we
soldiers,
built your country. Yeah.
Spricht er
British
dazwischen extra
soldiers
so ein
parading
so ein
on shore,
Ausländerenglisch, der
and
kann
who they
nämlich
knocked
besser
down by
Englisch. Gell?
Irish cowards with snipers with masks.
Dazwischen spricht er richtig gut und dann macht er
They
extra.
never do anything openly except play the victim of the British. They are poison.
I wouldn't insult some people, but I think people
This
do
is
know the
England, you
truth.
can do what you like.
Yeah,
as far
but
as I'm concerned.
I've got a bit of a conscience, the one that you keep talking about.
If you had a
That's
conscience,
missing.
if you had a conscience, you wouldn't be in
you're a
this
racist,
country
but
taking
that's
from
too much.
what you can from the government and then speaking poison against the people.
If you don't like a foreign,
That's
why
the
you
enemy
dressing
within.
Chinese?
I'm dressed in
Where you
green.
do shopping?
This is a green and pleasant land. It's only the yappy Irish.
Ja, und die Tüte ist eindeutig chinesisch.
But they don't like living there. You kind of get rid of them.
I like bettering myself, so I'm over here taking what I can, making a good life.
A good life. Thieves can never make a good life.
Irish working very hard.
But I don't really care. You're going to meet your maker. You'll get the justice in this world and the next.
Who's my maker? Who's my maker?
I don't really care what you think. I'm not here to educate you. I'm here to warn you. One of the first things of existence, especially a history of a country that we have, is know your enemy. And I certainly know the Scots and the Irish especially are our enemies and will remain so. And every one of them in England is an enemy of this nation. And that's only the name.
Kleinere Insel
Get a
für
bit
England
further out.
aussuchen sollen,
We've
oder?
got a whole list of enemies. A whole list.
You made all them enemies yourself.
The
You're trying to take over the world.
Yeah, the Welsh are not Celts. It's the Celtic mongrels that's the problem. They're not. The Welsh are Britons.
So eine Hexe, ey.
You ask the Welsh what they are.
And they don't speak.
Do you know what the word Welsh means? You don't know much, do you?
Right, enlighten us.
No, I'm not here to educate the arrogant and the ignorant.
Welsh come from the word well.
Oh, sie ist sprachlos.
You see, most of you are very good at talking out and your opinions, but it's not a informed opinion. You don't investigate before you come to conclusions. You just pick up something and decide that sounds good.
Come close, we didn't hear you.
You examine.
History?
No, you examine life.
You examine life.
Every race has a characteristic, a personality. When you live amongst different races, you get to know the characteristics of the people. The problem is when they're not working with your characteristics of who you are in your own homeland, and you then have to be aware that you can't trust them.
But you can't change anything.
Sie wiederholt sich ja immer. Das ist
Ja, ja, sie
We are all here to make change. We live in a world of
What, you
change.
wanna say to people, go to your origin, go to Africa, Asia.
Komm, gehen wir mal, ja.
I'm English, that's
No, you are not English.
You are not English.
No.
I'm sorry that you don't recognize my accent. That's not my problem, it's yours. I have never lived outside of England. My ancestry is not outside of England, so if you've got a problem with that, it's your
What is your family name? I'm gonna Google it.
I'll also
What is your
and you
family
will
name?
still be Algerian at the end.
I am Algerian.
This is about every one of you.
Was heißt ein Stammbaum?
And that's what
And
you
you
cannot
didn't
get
beat us
away
in the
from.
World Cup. We make it
You
0-0.
can never get away from who you are.
Komm, geht was.
Race is biological, and whether you like it or not, when people look at you, they've got an idea that you either belong here or you
What is your family name? I'm asking you the last time.
You don't get it, leave. I'm not a teacher. If you don't get what I'm saying, leave.
You said no.
Communication is the
Who are
mind, not the
you?
mouth.
Who are you to tell me to leave? I'm paying tax 20%.
In the hired help, I've told you already. That's the level you're on. don't need a British Empire anymore. You just queue up to work.
You want to
here
share with
instead.
me the banana?
You're even proud of the same Britain that you were quick to accuse of so much in history.
We are
Oh,
part
you
of the
change,
British
you
Empire.
change with the weather when there's something.
We are
in the
part
field.
of it. Where's the Indian here? Anyone from India?
And the colonial powers came into this country, the Asians and the West Indians. They were quick to talk
Anyone
about
from
what
India?
the British had done in their countries. But when they came here and saw what a good
You
life it
working there?
was, suddenly
You
it didn't
working
matter. We're all the same. Skin doesn't count. You change with the weather. That's why nobody really trusts you. Only the people like yourself. And that's why there's so much competition, seeking to outdo each other. You create the world you're living in by the attitudes that you have and the ignorance you choose. You're not victims. You are creators. But it's not the real world. It's a world that is subject to destruction and you in it. I ain't going
Yes, I'm
nowhere.
going nowhere. I'm
And
here
that's
to
English,
stay.
is it? I don't think so.
Why, where were you educated? Huh?
English is
I'm not the candidate to follow this.
Just say one word.
I really don't have a clue. I'm not really interested.
It's not Arab. Don't shake.
I'm not Arab, no.
Don't presume, I'm afraid. There are many reasons to shake.
I know why you shake. You know why? Because tomorrow is bank holiday. And you need a medicine.
You know, you're going to spend forever listening to that rubbish. There's one person you'll never get away
wonder what
from,
happens to you
yourself.
tomorrow.
If you ever knew that the British government was an enemy, you'd just see what turns up in this country by permission of that government. You are serving a power that seeks to actually dethrone the Almighty himself and rule the world on their terms. And they'll do it by turning everything of the true creation upside down. Get rid of nation states, get rid of the idea of natural biology, with cloning, artificial insemination, and everything else that you are going along with, creating artificial medicines. And all of these things you are supporting, and you dare to say it's for the good of mankind. No, it's not. It's for the good, for the powers that
it's
are
not good
doomed,
of
and you are doomed with
Who's
it.
to say? And where do you get the information? Reading books? Is it the ones that you tell us not to read?
Why do we
English,
speak?
is it? English. Where do you get your information?
Why do we have ears and why do we have a mouth? Not so we can listen to the
have
rubbish
no ears,
around
I have a
us,
head
so that we can listen to the voices that are seeking to give us light and truth. You choose who you listen to. You choose who you serve. But don't make the mistake of thinking that you have the truth. The only way you can be convinced more of that is when you can look beyond this world into eternity. To open your mind to the possibility that this is not all there is. I repeat, Speaker's Corner is about challenging you to open your minds, to dare to look at things that you have not normally looked at.
In a
That's
racist
why
manner.
it exists.
In a racist manner.
Race is not going away. Race is meant to be noble, not to be argued and fought over. Again, the reason why everyone who is in one way or another dealing with race in the wrong way is meeting the judgment of the Almighty. And what you are seeing are people who are desperately seeking to avoid their own racial responsibility, seeking to suppress the ones who are willing to stand in it. And it's not going to prosper. Your own ancestors are going
Boring,
to
you
judge
know,
you.
it's boring.
boring
They
today.
get slaughtered thrice by
It's
a horse.
boring today.
Sorry there.
I'm going nowhere.
Can you talk about sex?
When was the last time you had sex?
Like I said, you can tell the British government's an enemy. Listen to it. That's
No,
what they
because
let
he's
in.
selling his Viagra.
That's what they let
His
in.
Viagra.
That's what they
He
let
want to give you
in.
some.
Oh, it's wondering when's the last
There's
time
no
you had sex?
standards, there's no moral standards. The country is a cesspit. Why? Because the British government itself has no morals.
Don't pick up and wash it. No, don't be shy. Just pick up and wash it.
I wash it for you.
I wash your phone. I wash your phone. Finger. You're gonna mess up. The corner, the speaker corner. This is red.
I want to think of blood.
No, no, I'll show for you. Here in the grass. You look at me like this.
Why shouldn't I?
I just don't want to help.
I don't care what you want. Nor does anybody else. She said no, I don't know how many times, and you still
No
force it.
problem, maybe she's shy.
Anybody should be shy of you, I can tell you.
He's kind-hearted. He's offering to wash it. It's a very good
I have a
man.
girlfriend, don't worry.
Very good man.
Well, in your eyes, I suppose he is.
She don't mind have a third one. No problem.
Come here every week,
Yeah, we done now.
every Sunday.
Yeah, every Sunday, yes.
Weather permitting. It's an urgent message. Whether people take it seriously or not is up to them. Time is not on our side because of what we have chosen to do.
They are sitting on the floor, they're enjoying the show.
I've nothing wrong with my eyesight.
Resting our
Don't
feet.
state the obvious, will you?
I'm taking it very seriously.
There's consequences of that.
We came in here way too early.
Listen, all I am saying is that chaos will not be allowed to rule this earth. And as you're moving from nation to nation, turning back on your own homeland and your own people, you are creating the chaos. And it is not going to be allowed to happen indefinitely. You are not. Why don't you listen to the people of this country who are already wishing to separate from Europe? Why? Because Europe
Shall I
has
listen
been
to the
defining
Queen?
too
She's
much
more
the
English.
state of the immigration in this country. And shall I tell you something? This is history repeating itself in England. You know why we have a Protestant Reformation? Because the English people got sick to death of being ruled by Rome and a pope who decided he could even tell our kings what to do. So like I said, nations don't change just because they don't necessarily talk about things. The people who belong in this country are sick of failed Europeans telling us how to live in this country and opening up our borders to those who have no welcome in the first place, but are being forced on the people here because Brussels says so.
I come in
We
by
will
British
say in this
Airways.
country, if you will not learn the lessons of history, you are doomed to repeat them.
If God were to want us to stay in our own homeland,
What you want about now?
Why do you think foreigners are bad?
so if God were want us
Easy
to
way
live in
out.
our own homeland, why did He let us invent
Come here.
aeroplanes? Why did He let us invent ships?
From when I came here from the US.
Why?
Listen, shut your mouth and try
I'm
to
listening.
talk.
I'm trying to understand
You
you.
hope you keep your mouth shut when you're trying to listen. That's how it works.
Yeah, go on. I'm listening.
Here, coffee.
Why don't you understand what foreigners do?
What did you do?
I'm not from here, but do you think they do?
I'm not a foreigner.
I've been standing here talking about it. What hasn't connected? Are you just a natural wanderer who thinks you can go where you want to?
She's American. People can go where they want to.
My
Well,
parents
then-
came from another country because they sought a better life.
Exactly, that's the wanderer's cry, isn't it? Oh, I can have a better life somewhere else.
So
It's an alien concept.
I'm
to
not
you
having
racial
better life
loyalty.
here, so.
But have you always in your ancestry
Because summer is
been
too late
British?
here.
There's no such race as British. It's English.
I apologize.
Everybody's British. Everybody can wield a British passport.
No, I got British, but I'm British. I'm British.
So you were raised back to find that everyone in your family was always English?
I'm too busy being English to do all
You
that.
have the same right like you.
Who would I
No
be
different.
proving
You
to?
might have some foreigners in your ancestry.
Pigs might
he
fly. I'm dealing with now. I'm dealing with you who doesn't belong here, failing to
I'm a tourist contributing to your economy. You should be
welcome
happy
here.
that
You come in with nothing, you're going out with nothing. You don't have anything.
I
Don't
come
talk about contributing. You're here because you want to be.
I'm helping the economy.
You
while
are here.
shaving bag
Don't
at a
get
time.
noble with me.
She coming
just
with
a
a dollar.
honestly, Diana, if
She's
it weren't for
coming here to
people
spend
coming
money on in our country.
you wouldn't have the freedom to stand on that stand and talk.
Yeah, that's usually the cry from people like you. You always have to feel important.
The driver of the bus.
That's because you do not know
You know
about
the driver of the
I
bus.
belong here whether I contribute or
Driver
not.
bus.
That's why we have a
She
world
live in the
test.
East London.
So that
East
the people
London.
who belong here,
No,
that they
the
looked
driver
at,
is a
they didn't
foreigner.
have to wear their socks on. They didn't have to do this. Why? Because they had a right to be looked after because they belonged here. The National Health Service was set up for our own people, not the whole world.
That's entitlement. You have your own set of entitlements for your own
And
country.
it was for our own
And you don't want
people.
to share that with anyone? People who come and pay taxes and contribute?
She pay
I
40.
told you, you haven't a clue about what I'm talking about. You're a
But she
wanderer.
collect only 20.
I'm not a wanderer.
If it's our own people, why there's so many?
I am sick
I
of
went to
arrogant
school.
people
I put
who will
myself
not
through
understand.
school.
Stop trying to
Everything.
justify yourself. You can't.
Why is it there so
very
many
happy.
Indian doctors in
You
our
see,
National Health Service?
You just don't try and convince me. I'm not
She's
interested.
happy you're not.
I have a right
You're
to
not
judge
happy
you.
at all. There are so
have
many
a right to
foreigners in the
judge
British
you.
National Health Service
Wow. I'll
looking
judge
at
you.
I
people like
belong
you.
here. You
No,
don't.
you not belong to here. No, no,
British
no, no.
people.
I don't care what your opinion is.
I thought British people were so nice and friendly.
To your face.
It's okay. She's English. I said British.
I'm English.
She's not.
I can tell us I'm English.
Are you friendly?
He's English undercover.
I don't want to be lumped in with this.
No, but that's what I said. I thought English people were nice and friendly.
Only when they drunk.
Health service,
I'm
huh?
interested in keeping the foreigners happy.
English people not only when they drunk.
Where they are nice, decent, respectable people.
But you're being
They can't
racist.
handle the
She
fact that
is.
the very country that made them decent is sinking under their feet because they're too busy in trying to pretend that the world needs them. These are traitors.
I'm a traitor. I'm not a traitor. I'm very proud of my country.
Get him.
I'm very proud of my
He's
country.
the Newcastle manager.
No.
Well, I've got news for you. I have never been so ashamed of this country. I love England, the land. That's what we're meant to love, not the people. The people are meant to have the responsibility to make the
Give
land the
us
best
our
it can
British
be.
museum.
I am ashamed of
Nothing
people.
is British.
They are cowardly, treacherous,
You should be ashamed
traitors.
of being English.
What do you know about being any race?
Yes.
What do you know about being any race?
Because she had the
She's
Your own parents ran away from who you are.
Yes.
So how can you know about racial responsibility? You have no clue.
I'm Canadian,
racial responsibility.
and I love being Canadian.
Like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and America
Canada,
were made by
the Queen is
runaways
the head of
who
state.
couldn't handle being true to their own people because it was too hard. That's why you wanted a new
Hard.
land.
I don't think you were on any boats going over to the new country to settle the new country.
And you're not worth speaking of them because they were pioneers. You were lazy good for nothing.
And what gives you that right to say that I'm a lazy good for nothing when I've already told you I worked 3 jobs, went to nice school, got a straight A average?
Yeah, in the head.
hard.
I'm talking about building. I'm talking about tilling the land. I'm talking about making the land.
I have a farm. I own cows. I really do. My husband's
Yeah, but it's in the wrong place.
And she
There you go.
That's
I
right.
know
It's
it
in the wrong
too.
place.
I was being ironic.
Why couldn't you do that in
I
your
don't
own
actually
country?
believe that.
and she had
No
English
such thing as a
cow there.
Canadian. You turned up from somewhere else. Why can't you run a farm in your own country?
Diana, Louis Vuitton, Louis
And go
Vuitton, too much money. Louis Vuitton, Diana, Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton,
But
Louis
you did.
Vuitton.
They left
Canadian.
it. You Poles are wanderers.
And the English are wanderers when they went to America and everywhere else.
That was the British. Take it up with the Scots. the Welsh,
you
and the
just
Irish.
said that.
No, it wasn't.
You just said
No, it wasn't.
Get all the Scots together and take it with all of them.
The English get blamed for what the Scots, the Welsh, and the Irish are also involved
So
in.
no Englishman has ever left England.
That's not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying.
No, it's not.
So the
I
English
am
did-
talking about how you are always very happy to blame England for what the British did. And the British are Scots, Welsh, Irish, as well as English. everyone who leaves their own country, whether they're English or anyone else, are traitors to their own people. No matter where they go.
Why did Harry go to
Get that into your head.
Why did Prince Harry go to school in Canada?
You can't make anybody loyal.
Why did he
You
go to
can
school in
only
Canada?
demonstrate that they don't have loyalty. And that's what I do when I come here. Demonstrating your wandering ways and your determination to mold the world according to your terms. You cannot comprehend
looking for you.
understanding of loyalty.
Are you from India? Take your town back home.
Of being English at the moment.
So instead of leaving, your impetus is more to like come and speak.
You don't run away, otherwise I'm no different to anyone else.
Because I feel ashamed of the U.S. I want to run away sometimes. So it's like, instead, should I just start doing this, you say? Because I don't know, you know, I don't know what to say. I don't feel like I have a voice. I don't feel like I can really do much.
Where do you actually belong then?
Where do I? Seattle, Washington.
That's not your racial roots.
Oh, you mean like my race?
But your racial roots, all of our racial roots are in Ethiopia. I mean, whatever you want.
I will remind
Don't
you,
tell me to listen.
time is a gift.
I have my
And
ears.
even in your machines, you can fast forward and you can rewind. And I am warning you, the Almighty at any point can either fast forward or rewind his creation. And what he's going to do is rewind everything back to the very beginning, to the way that he wanted it. And that means that everything that you have done will be wiped out.
And this was a deserted island.
And this is why I am talking about racial roots, not where you've turned up and sought a new life. And I repeat, every time you look in the mirror, you're faced with an idea of where you
I have no mirror at home, Daya. I use Starbucks mirror.
Let's just go let rewind. Africa, though. Humanity emigrated to Africa looking for.
No, you believe that. I'm not interested.
So where do you think humanity began?
We come from tribes. All the tribes were created at the same time.
And the tribe was created in England.
Why should
No. There was no people living here. Too cold. Too cold.
I'd have to say, with that red hair as well, you should be looking somewhere else.
Provence? That would be nice.
No, I don't think red hair comes from Provence.
Oh, lovely. I think delicious.
Did you take your medicine before you come?
How come you have only black cow? No
Medicine's
white
not
cow?
going to help you. Not going to help you. Nothing on earth's going to help you. You are destroying God's races
Never been
by
more proud of
your
my ginger hair.
infiltrating others,
Don't bring them
betraying
here.
your
They'll
own.
make them barbecue.
You have nothing to be victorious about, believe me. And it's only because you're so blinded by your own egotism and godlessness that you don't know what I'm saying. But that's not my problem, it's yours.
Why do you have no joy in your life?
My joy is not being
Her husband ran away with a foreigner woman.
How can you be joyful amidst people who are blind, deaf and dumb to the realities of life? I come here on a Sunday to speak out, not to be happy.
And you're coming tomorrow. It's bank holiday as
But
well.
what's wrong with believing in your belief and being happy about your beliefs?
Shut up.
That's not very nice. Oh, but I'm Canadian. I am nice.
I'll blame Canada for you.
Oh, I'm happy to blame Canada for me.
Well, be nice enough to Canada to go back there. We don't need you in England.
You needed her during the war.
No.
All the Polish, they came here and they grew out.
She coming by British Airways.
Look after Poland.
And all the flights are full.
You all
That she
turn up
waiting
here
for the
for help,
next
don't you? Pathetic. And when you come here, you think you can take over, and we've got to remind them what you do for us.
Diana, I come in on the
The
back of
English
the
don't
lorry.
have a voice because we're too busy
I
being
can't go
grateful
back.
to everyone else. And there's too many stupid English like that. But they forget that before 1707, which was the Union of the Crowns, England was an entity on its own that made Scotland, Wales and Ireland very jealous of us and why we became Britain.
Diane,
The English
Diane, serious
identity has
question.
never been anything
How far
other
English
than one
lace?
that is worth standing
How
up
far?
for. And every person who doesn't do that because they're so
3,000?
busy apologising to everybody else is a traitor to their own
So the
identity
land was
as well as
all
their own
together.
nation.
They're not English. Or same people.
So you must love the Queen.
No, I don't love the Queen because she's a British Queen.
No, she's not British. She's German.
The Queen's anybody.
And her husband from
Don't talk
Greece.
about what you don't know. I've already told you.
Just to open my mind. I'm
It's a
trying
simple
so hard.
question.
Open your mind and shut your mouth.
That's fine.
No, she's never shut up since she got here.
This is the speaker's corner.
Don't blame her. Her teacher was from India.
No, they don't.
She has a
No,
right
they don't. No, they don't. You're doing it again. You're looking to the politicians for your answers. I am talking about politicians are on the same journey.